Oh, Nordic is very keen for his dinner this evening. Watch out for the hole. He's gone down it. Oh my god. Nordic, are you alright? Jesus. He's disappeared. Nordic! Oh, can't understand where on earth Nordic's gone to. He's not in that hole. Hold on. Is that my phone ringing? Nordic! Where are you? How on earth did you... You're where? I can't believe Nordic had me fly to come and collect him.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Where is he?
This is your captain. We will soon be landing in
Hold on a minute.
Zielonka as scheduled.
There he is. I see him there at that farm. I'm coming, Nordic. Oh, here he is. Hello everyone, and welcome to Zielonka. This is a multiplayer co-op with Nordic farming, and this is episode number 1. You would have seen that Nordic and I have ventured to Zielonka, and this apparently is Nordic's cousin's farm that is here, and they've needed a bit of help this season, this year, so they've drafted us in. Fortunately, we've got enough auto drivers and hired help to run Calmlands whilst we are away. So we are doing a little adventure, which is quite fun. So this is the farm, and it's quite small. There's only a shed, a chicken coop, but there's no chickens at the moment. And then the usual sheds and silos up here to give seed, fertilizer, lime and water. So yeah, quite a quaint little farm. And they have a little array of equipment. They've got 2 small tractors. I think this is the Volvo Trabant. Yep, this is a Zetor 2511. A few bits of equipment here. Weight, a pallet fork, and looks like we've got a Bredel F2WS spreader here. Fantastic. A couple of old sprayers. The Biardski. That's interesting. And on to the meatier stuff, we've got a Zetor Crystal 160/45 and the Ursus 1614. These are looking pretty good. Oh, Nordic's just looking in the shed. I think these are the planters. Oh, thanks Nordic for closing the door. Let's have a little inspect. It's the Kavorka Mini Air Nova Rigid. Back here we've got the Unia Aeris XL Disc Harrow. And, oh, what's this? The Grimmer GF400. I think this is what creates the grooves for doing some of the new root crops. And for plows, we've got the Apkill KM180. Fantastic. So this is the map view of the farm, the courtyard here. And Nordic's cousins own field 52, 53 and 54. So we've got 3 fields to work on. And it's February time, so I think it's going to be field prep to begin with to get some crops drilled. Well, it's March time and we are ready to start some field prep now. Nordic and I have settled in for a little while and we're getting used to the ins and outs of the farm. And it's time for us to start some work. So it's going to be field prep as mentioned. And all 3 fields require ploughing, so that is the first job on Nordic's cousin's farm. Fantastic. Right, so I think that we are going to jump in the Zeta Crystal. And yes, we'll need a plough, so let's hop in there. There we go, and Nordic is in the Ursus. And we want to pick up a plough each, so I guess I'll go in and get the furthest one away. And I think we're going to start with the closest field and move on to the latter. So we will do that. Plough attached. Luckily the Zetor has a front weight already built in, so that's quite handy. Nordic is having to pick up the front weight for the Ursus. So we're going to follow Nordic's lead to the first field. These tractors are a little bit older than what we're used to. Very rustic. And I guess that fits in with the area we are working. And yeah, it's All manual, no GPS or anything like that. Oh, better watch out for the curb. Right turn, and oh, I think this is our first field. Right, so Nordic is getting lined up, so we can line up next to him, keep the plough the same way. And yeah, we'll put our front tyre in the furrow of his. There we go. And then I should be able to lower the plough. There we go. And start ploughing next to Nordic. There we go. And this plough does switch, so when we get to the other side of the field we'll have to turn it the other way. But Nordic and I are going to get busy ploughing this first field, and we'll see you when we're all finished. Tiny little slither now ploughed up, and we can get to the end of the row and raise up. There we go. So that is the first field conquered, 52 I think that is, and yeah, it's nice to see it all cleaned up. I think the previous season the farm was 2 fields of wheat and 1 field of sunflower that Nordic's cousins were harvesting. But the main reason why they've asked us to come and help them out this time round is they are going to be doing a root crop season, and yes, they need all the help they can get. So yeah, Nordic has very kindly drafted us in to help with that. But yep, 1 field ploughed, 2 to go, and we're at 10:30, so not bad for a morning's work, or part of a morning's work. Right, I need to flick the plough this way. Super. So we're going to go plough facing inwards. We can pull in a little bit, make sure we're lined up, lower the plough, and get to it. So field number 2, this must be number 53 on the map. Fantastic. So we are going to crack on and plough this field. I'll try and do as neat a job as possible. Oh dear, I've already missed a little bit on the edge there. Not to worry, we will come back and fix. raising up. And that is the second field, all ploughed. Nordic's just been tidying the other end. And it's pretty hard graft around here, I'll be honest. It's definitely far away from the more automated farm of Calmlands now, where we've got bigger, bulkier and wider equipment. This seems to be back to more basic roots. No GPS, it's all rustic and yes, smaller tractors, less horsepower. So it's actually quite a nice change. I think I'm warming to Zielonka. Right, third field, and we are going to be swapping tractors. So we'll shut off the old Z-Tool and let Nordic have a go in it. We are going to jump in the Ursus and, oh yes, we'll have a little quick look in the cab. Oh nice, I can see the exhaust vibrating there, fantastic. But we'll make sure we are all lined up. Of course this one has a front weight because it hasn't got a front weight built into it like the other tractor. Right, Nordic is setting off, so we will line up and set off behind him. I'd say that this tractor has a bit more bite to it when it's pulling off, got a bit more juice. Alright, we will set off and get this all ploughed. And probably worth mentioning that the main reason why we are here to help is because it's going to be the root crop season for this farm, and they are going to be growing some red beets, some carrots and some parsnips, and we're going to be helping them out because it's a bit of a new thing for them, and we'll probably have to buy some newer equipment to help them out. And as you can tell by the bank balance, it's not a cash rich farm, so we're thinking we might pinch some funds from Calm Farm just to help Nordic's cousins out. They seem like good folk, so why not? Yep, first of all we got to get these fields turned over, and we're on to the last one. So we'll get this done, and then I think it's probably going to be lime spreading this afternoon. So we'll see you when we're ready for some liming. Raising up, and that's field number 3, all ploughed. Nordic's just tidying the far end, and yes, nice to have all the 3 fields ploughed, but unfortunately we've been struck by the Zielonka weather, which is quite wet, and it's turned it very dim, so we've been working with the headlights and work lights on just to improve a bit of visibility. There we go, Nordic is just finishing up the last row on the end to tidy it up. We can probably head on back to the farm, which is just up here, and get the ploughs parked up. Now, as mentioned, we are going to be doing some root crops, and that is red beets, carrots and parsnips. So after ploughing we will need to lime to make sure we've got the right pH balance, and there's no precision to that. We haven't got precision farming, so unfortunately it is just we're doing the lime and the fertilizing, and there's primary and secondary level of fertilization, so it is very much the basic liming and fertilising. But in terms of preparation for root crops, we will have to come and create some rows, which is where the red beets, carrots and parsnips get planted in. Just move out the way for Nordic so he can get that sorted. Right, I think I'm just going to switch off the tractor for a moment so I can show you what I'm talking about. Yes, these are the machines that will set in the rows, the Grimmer GF400, and you can see the rows are here. So yeah, I don't know if we definitely needed to plough or whether we could just done this straight away, and I also don't know if we need to cultivate after ploughing in order to start this, but I imagine that we could probably use this straight after ploughing to make the rows for the root crops, but we will see. Right, I think Nordic is parking up, and the plan is to potentially do some liming, but yeah, we'll see just how wet it is. Nordic is picking up a spreader, so we better move this Volvo out of the way. Fired up and moved so we can come along beside. Back in the Ursus. Better get the headlights and working lights back on as well, because it is quite dim in this weather. Grab the Bredel spreader, and luckily this farm have got some silos at the end of the yard that we can easily fill up from, which is pretty handy. Now Nordic's cousins are off working in another part of the area, it seems, potentially trying to earn some money from contract farming, but yeah, not quite sure on that. So yeah, we need to add lime to this, get the cover opened up. I think lime is this one from what I investigated previously. That's all full. Costs us a bit of money to fill that up, and Nordic is filling up as well, but we can get the cover closed because we don't want it getting wet. There we go. And we probably need to gauge the width of this spreader so we see how far it goes. I'm hoping that it's going to go quite a distance, so it won't take Nordic and I very long to do all 3 fields. But yeah, we'll set up here and wait for him to come on over. So unfortunately the other tractor can't deal with the weight of the spreader, so Nordic is going to hop in with me. Fantastic. He's in there in the back. There we go. We can see him in there. Fantastic. Right. So we can get started. Nordic and I will probably swap places halfway through. Let's switch this on. Oh yeah, it can go quite the width, so we can move over. We can afford to move over quite a bit. That is pretty decent. I think it's only going to be a couple of passes. Right, we'll see to this and catch you when we're done. Liming done. And that was so much quicker than the ploughing, mainly because the Bredel spreader has got such a wide range on it. It's fantastic. and Nordic and I swapped places halfway through. So Nordic's been running the spreader, and it's just unfortunate that the other tractor, the Zielonka, can't manage the weight of the spreader, so we'll have to see what we can do. But yeah, initially we couldn't see that we could put any more weights on it, so that is a shame. Now I've got to say, this tractor has a lot of character to it. It makes all sorts of funky, cranky noises and all sorts. Gear changing gargles. There we go, Nordic is tidying up, putting the other spreader away, which, yeah, we don't really use. I wonder why they've got two spreaders if the other tractor can't quite manage it, but never mind. But the hope is that in some of the future jobs we might be able to use the smaller tractors on the farm for the spraying in particular. That might be useful. And parked up. Fantastic. Right, it is wet and the day is done. So Nordic and I have realised that we've not really explored much of Zielonka. So we are going to have a little bit of a tour in the pickup truck. And maybe we'll find a bar or something we can go grab a drink. So let's see what we can find. In you go, Nordic. You can be the designated driver. Thank you very much. Oh, I think you need to change the old alternator belt on this one, Nordic. Yes, luckily we have use of this rather nice pickup truck, although it's probably seen better days. Maybe needs a bit of a service. So it looks like we've pulled into the main dealership where we can buy equipment. That's pretty useful. And there's lots and lots of fields in this area. Very narrow, rectangular fields. And there's some bigger ones by the looks of it down here. Nordic and I don't really know our way about, and we're trying to find the way into the nearest town. Oh, this looks to be a market of sorts. Potentially where we can sell some stuff. I think we're heading into the main part of the town now. Fuel station, in case we need to fuel up. And it looks like down here is where the main town begins. Over the bridge, looks like a cathedral or a church of some sort there. Oh, dangerous man crossing the road there, nearly took him out. Yeah, this looks to be the main road, the high street, main strip, whatever it is called. Ah, yeah, very rustic little agricultural town by the looks of things. I'm sure it will look much better in the sunshine, which is on the forecast, which is good news. And oh, up here looks like there's a market or shop somewhere we can sell some stuff. Once it comes to the produce being ready, of course we'll have to come and investigate to see what is going on and where we can sell certain things. Yeah, initial look, it looks like a nice area. Aha, I think Nordic and I might have found the tavern, and we'll go in there and have a little drink. Looks like they serve some other stuff as well. Right, we made it to the bar after a busy day's work, and that's only the start of it. So of course Nordic and I are taking a break from Calm Farm and Calm Lands to come and work at Zielonka for a season or two. We'll see how it goes. But that is it for today. Hope you have enjoyed watching. If you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like Nordic and I to do, then feel free to leave a comment. You can check out Nordic's channel for his perspective of today's session. But all that's left to say is, hope to see you again next time on Zielonka, and we'll see you then. Cheers all, bye bye.